Hello and welcome back to WTF Just Happened Today, your essential guide to making the news make sense. I'm Matt Kieser, and I'm excited to announce the relaunch of this podcast. A few notes before we begin. First, this is a working prototype, so if something sounds off, you can tell me at WTFJHT.com/feedback. Second, this is a lightly edited version of the newsletter. Same stories, just rewritten for audio. And this audio edition was written and edited by me and narrated using a synthetic AI clone of my voice. I also recognize there are a lot of feelings about the use of AI right now, and I'm aware of all the arguments. But here's the practical reality. As a one-person newsroom, this is one sustainable way I can publish a daily audio edition without ads, sponsors, or a staff. So give it a listen and tell me what you think at WTFJHT.com/feedback. Okay, here's what just happened today for Monday, January 20th, 2026. First up, global markets fell sharply after Trump threatened 10% tariffs on imports from Denmark and 7 other European countries if they refused to support his effort to acquire Greenland. Trump said those duties would rise to 25% if a deal wasn't reached by June. Next, European Union officials said they were preparing retaliatory tariffs that would exceed $100 billion, and they were considering activating the bloc's anti-coercion instrument, which could restrict U.S. companies' access to EU markets. Meanwhile, it remained unclear whether Trump could even legally impose the proposed tariffs, as the Supreme Court was set to rule on whether the International Emergency Economic Powers Act authorized country-specific tariffs. In other news, Trump said he was confident the United States would acquire Greenland, and he declined to set any limits on his approach, saying, quote, "You'll find out." Greenland's prime minister warned residents to prepare, saying a military conflict can't be ruled out, though U.S. officials said the Pentagon hadn't been instructed to plan an invasion of Greenland. Meanwhile, Trump sent a text message to the Norwegian prime minister, writing that losing the Nobel Peace Prize made him feel less obligated to think purely of peace, and that, quote, "The world is not secure unless we have complete and total control of Greenland." Norway, however, isn't responsible for awarding the Nobel Peace Prize. An independent committee is. Also today, federal prosecutors served grand jury subpoenas to Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey, and at least 3 other Democratic officials as part of the Justice Department's investigation into their response to the Trump administration's immigration operation in the Twin Cities. The subpoenas demanded documents dating back to early 2025 about cooperation or lack of cooperation with federal immigration authorities, but they didn't cite a specific criminal statute or allege particular acts of interference. And the Justice Department said it discovered evidence suggesting members of DOGE improperly accessed and shared Social Security data with a political advocacy group seeking to overturn election results in certain states. The government said it still hadn't found proof that Social Security data was actually provided to that group, and it remained unclear what specific information was accessed or shared. The Social Security Administration nevertheless said it referred the employees involved for potential Hatch Act violations. Finally, 58% of Americans call Trump's first year of his second term a failure. That's all for now. You can find the full edition and all the cited sources at WTFJHT.com. Also, my AI pledge can be found at WTFJHT.com/FAQ. Thanks for listening. I'm Matt Kieser, and I'm glad you're here.